A $500 million empire destroyed in 15 years. But not by a competitor, not by the internet. Destroyed by the people inside the room. And the person who walked away owning its most valuable piece? She was never even blood. The question, how does that happen? How does one woman's $500 loan become a publishing empire that shapes Black America for 70 years, and then vanish completely? The answer isn't about one bad decision. It's about a woman who trusted the wrong person in the room, and how that trust didn't just cost her money. It cost her parents' entire legacy. This is the story of John Harold Johnson, his wife Eunice, and the $500 million empire that ended in bankruptcy court. The birth of an empire. John Harold Johnson was born in Arkansas City in 1918. His father worked at a sawmill. His mother was a cook. When his father died, the family moved north to Chicago during the Great Migration, looking for a better life. John graduated with honors from DuSable High School. He worked days at a Black-owned insurance company called Supreme Life. Every week, he reviewed Black newspapers from across the country, summarizing stories for his boss. And then the idea hit him. If he was this hungry for an official source of Black news and Black achievement, then thousands of others were too, but nobody was doing it. He went to his mother, Gertrude. She didn't hesitate. She put her furniture up as collateral and borrowed $500 from Citizens Loan Corporation. He sent that money to 20,000 Black insurance customers, asking if they'd prepay $2 for a magazine that didn't exist yet. 3,000 people sent money. In June 1942, Negro Digest launched. It sold out completely. Within a year, it was moving 50,000 copies monthly. John Johnson was 24 and had proven what every bank had refused to believe. Black America was a massive, loyal audience. Ebony, the real empire. But John wanted something bigger. He wanted a magazine that would sit on every Black family's coffee table the way Life magazine sat on white families' tables. His wife, Eunice, came up with the name, Ebony. On November 1st, 1945, the first issue hit newsstands. 25,000 copies, sold out completely. By the 1950s, circulation reached over 1 million copies a month. Presidents called him by his first name. Martin Luther King trusted him with stories no other publisher could touch. In 1971, he built the physical proof of his success. An $8 million headquarters at 820 South Michigan Avenue. The first building in downtown Chicago ever owned by an African American. It stood like a monument to the impossible made possible. Meanwhile, his wife was building something equally massive. Eunice started the Ebony Fashion Fair in 1958. For 5 decades, she personally traveled to Paris and Rome, buying 8,000 couture ensembles one at a time, because no one would lend a Black-owned company credit. Her shows toured nearly 200 cities every year. Over the entire run, the fashion fair raised $55 million for scholarships and hospitals in Black communities. In 1973, she launched Fashion Fair Cosmetics, one of the first cosmetics lines built specifically for darker skin tones, at a time when major beauty brands acted like those customers didn't exist. John built the magazine that made Black America visible. Eunice built the industry that kept it visible everywhere else.
Number 1. Everyone remembers John Harold Johnson. Almost no one remembers that his wife built an entire industry standing next to him. Legacies aren't usually carried by one person. They're usually built by 2, but they get remembered by one name. That's how power works. That's how history gets written.
The slow crumble. After John died in 2005 at 87, everything fell apart. Not quickly, slowly, over 15 years. Before he died, John handed the company to his daughter, Linda Johnson Rice. She became CEO in 2002. But the world she inherited wasn't the world her father built. Print advertising was collapsing. The internet was pulling readers away everywhere. Ebony's circulation had reached 2.3 million at its peak. Now it was falling with no floor in sight. Linda made a critical decision. She brought in an outside executive, Desiree Rogers, a former Obama White House social secretary. Someone with credentials, someone Linda trusted. Under Rogers, the company kept shrinking, kept losing money, kept losing readers. In 2010, Linda sold the headquarters at 820 South Michigan Avenue, the building her father had built, the monument to Black ownership in downtown Chicago. She sold it for $8 million. Ebony ended its print edition. It went digital only, but that wasn't enough. In 2016, Linda sold Ebony and Jet to a private equity firm out of Texas called Clearview Group. After 71 years, Johnson's name was no longer on the masthead. The Betrayal. In April 2019, Johnson Publishing Company filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy in federal court. The filing listed 299 creditors. The estimated total debt was over $36 million. The company's most valuable asset was its archive. 4 million photographs taken across 8 decades. Decades of Black history. All of it going to auction. The winning bid came from foundations. The Getty Trust, the Ford Foundation, the MacArthur Foundation. $30 million. But Fashion Fair Cosmetics also went to bankruptcy. The brand that Eunice had built from scratch in 1973. The brand she had poured her life into. Fashion Fair went to auction. And guess who was standing there with a bid ready? Desiree Rogers. The same woman Linda had trusted to protect her parents' legacy. The same woman she had brought into the room. Rogers, backed by a hedge fund, bid $1.85 million for Fashion Fair Cosmetics. And she won. Linda and her daughter Alexa said publicly they were blindsided. Completely blindsided. Alexa called it the biggest betrayal she had ever felt. Rogers defended herself. She said the company no longer belonged to the Johnson family. She said she was keeping a Black-owned brand in Black hands. But here's the part that actually hurts the most. Fashion Fair is now thriving. Not surviving. Thriving. It sits on shelves at Sephora, one of the biggest beauty retailers in the world. The brand that the Johnson family struggled to keep alive is now more successful than it ever was under their ownership. Better distribution, better margins. In 2024, Fashion Fair became the official beauty sponsor of the Democratic National Convention, held in Chicago, the same city where John Johnson built his empire, the same city where Eunice Johnson is buried. Her legacy is back on a national stage. Vice President Harris's campaign. Fashion Fair was there. Her brand was there. Her work was there. It just didn't carry her name anymore.
Number 2, legacy doesn't fail because people stop caring about it. Legacies fail when the people protecting them trust the wrong hands with it. Linda didn't lose her parents' empire to a stranger off the street. She didn't lose it to a competitor. She lost pieces of it to someone she let in the room, someone she trusted, someone she thought was family. That's not a villain story. That's not a traditional tragedy. That's just how most legacies actually end. Not with a bang, not with a dramatic collapse, but quietly, slowly, handed over piece by the people who loved it most.
So here's the real question for you. Drop it in the comments below. Should Linda have kept Desiree at arm's length from the very beginning? Or was bringing in outside leadership the only smart move left? Was there any way to save the company once the industry changed? I want to hear what you think. If this is your first time hearing the real story behind Ebony magazine, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from. Hit that like button if this story hit you, and the next video is already queued up on your screen. Click it. You'll thank me later.